What's up, everyone? It's B. Avery here for another recap review of Bel-Air. This is season 3, episode 2, titled Pivot. Really do appreciate you tuning in. Let you know this is going to be spoiler-filled, spoiling it up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen the episode. And if you're enjoying yourself, which you are, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get my recaps of episode 3 and the future lives of this season on Peacock. Another great episode, but to be honest with you, I did not like it as much as I did episode 1. There were a few moments in this episode that I was just like, okay, what are y'all doing? This doesn't make any sense. Not that big a deal, but it was just a few standout moments. I mean, there was a few standout great moments as well. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Jazz and Hillary. We're going to be talking about Jackie keep popping up. We're going to talk about what is Jeffrey's son hiding behind the scenes. All of that. We're gonna get into all of it. We're going to get into all of it, but make sure you subscribe so you can see my live broadcast that I do with this season as far as bringing guests in. But the beginning of the episode, we have Carlton and Will and Carlton in the room trying to come up with a business plan. And I'm just saying to myself still, in these moments like this was so dumb. I do not understand. Well, Carlton, I can completely understand. He was thrown into this, but Will quitting his basketball career or passion, even if it's just for the summer, to just go on a whim and just try to start a business out of nowhere. I don't care who is trying to invest. I mean, take advantage of the opportunity, but I just don't think that he should have quit basketball. If he wasn't able to do both, you just need to do basketball. And that is showing in the first few moments of this episode. Even later on, Connor, which I forgot the last name, but Connor and his stepdad, when they saw Will and Carlton at the country club in the pit cleaning up the carts, later on in the episode, they were just saying like how dumb that was that he would just quit basketball for the summer to go after a pipe dream. And I agree 100%. Now, just a few moments ago, when I said that there was a few things that I did not like, there was a bit cringy for me, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. This is one of those scenes. It's perfectly fine for them to say that. We don't like Connor, of course, but they were right in this situation. What I don't like is that Will just happened to be right there around the corner behind a tree and just overheard the conversation with that silly look on his face. I mean, just what are the chances of Will being just right there, them not seeing it, and them saying exactly what they said? Let's just stop here out of nowhere in the middle of the golf course and say these lines of dialogue. Like, that just didn't seem natural. I do agree with what they're saying, but that placement there was just really off. The execution did not, hit well at all, in my opinion. And there's like another moment or two like that we'll get to, but that's just one example. Now, again, I really do like Ashley and the relationship that she has with her sister Hillary, but Ashley's just cool and funny in the first place. But when she is sitting with Hillary in the room and she has, it's not a charcuterie board, it's some other type of board that, they're just eating and going over stuff, and Ashley's like, hey, I want the mayonnaise, I want the petties, I want to go do this, I want to go do that, and then I want to slide by Jazz's, record store to get some things that he set aside. He just like, oh, yeah, I see how you threw that in there, but I don't know, it's just something about Ashley that I like. And, just her like, look, I don't like LaMarcus. He's cool, he's fine and all, but, he's no Jazz. You know what I'm saying? So that's just really cool and, genuine and authentic. And I just really like that. Now, I'll just go ahead and say this. Another thing that I did not like. So Will and Carlton are at the country club and they're cleaning the pits. They're the pit pigs, as Carlton has named them. That's what him and his friends call those people. And for one, I like the fact that they're just working an honest job. Will thought that there was going to be an accounting or sales or something like this. And, the manager was like, oh, we don't have anything like that. Our positions are very limited. And they ended up, cleaning the pit. That's cool. I like that. That's nice, honest work. No matter who you are, where you come from, I think at some point in your life, you should experience something like that, something remotely close to it, just so you can have a value on a dollar and hard work, all that good stuff. But what I did not like was the black guy. I think his name was Zaire or something. I could be wrong. Please forgive me. And he was like, hey, you fraternizing with the guests is prohibited. And Carlton's like, hey, these are some of our friends. that whole interaction right there was just phony baloney to me. And I was just like, really, oh, this is kind of cringeworthy. Later on in the episode as well, with the same character talking to Will about their backgrounds, and there's like, oh, caught between two worlds. All that was just corny to me. I did not like it. Now, the actor himself, I like him. And after they got through that last line of dialogue that I just said, the acting coming from the actor was actually pretty decent, and I liked his character. It was just the way he was written. That whole scene was written, and his introduction and later on in the episode as well. The way that was written was really piss poor I don't want to just say piss poor, but it could have been much better. Like I said, it was just another cheesy, corny, forced moment to try to create some drama or bond between these characters. And the bond was created towards the end. Will and that gentleman, had a good understanding of each other. And I felt that part was real, but the journey to get there was very, very uncomfortable and unsettling. Seriously, I was just like, whoa. Those moments that I've named right there were just the standout moments. So I was just like, okay, this is kind of crazy right here. But as far as everything, those are the only really things that I did not like about this episode. Everything else, it was just like, oh man, where are they going right now? Let's talk about Jazz and Hillary. So Ashley conveniently, has Hillary go to the vinyl store, the record store. And that's just funny to me, right? They're like, oh, let's make it quick. We got to get out of here. And I really felt bad for Jazz that he had the notice of delinquency for the taxes, the notification. And he was reading it right as Hillary and Ashley just came in. And maybe saying, oh, B, that's a hell of a coincidence too. Why are you not calling that out? That just kind of felt more natural to me, if I had to be honest with you. But Ashley ended up seeing it. I'm just like, damn. But she must have felt really close to Jazz. And I feel that she does. I think we all do. That she was able to read that out loud. Hey, what is this? Notice of delinquency. And that just kind of sucks. Hillary was trying to lend a helping hand. Like, hey, Jazz, what I can do, or what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to ring you up so I can get back to work. Very, very uncomfortable. But, I'm not mad at Jazz for that. But this does cause Hillary to go to her dad later on in the episode and be like, hey, this is the position that Jazz is in right now. Why don't you go over there and lend him a hand? I'm not mad at Hillary for doing that. And the way that Uncle Phil was presenting himself, like, hey, man, what's going on? I heard a lot of people in your area are going through some things. I can, lend you some capital. All that. That was cool, but Hillary messed it up because she in the background, rubbernecking, like, oh, are they talking? What is this it? Like, man, Jazz was able to put it together. And then later on, just be like, hey, man, did you tell your dad this? I don't need no handouts. But I love, they end up kissing, of course. They was coming together like magnets. And I was just like, yes, I want it to happen. And it happened. And I was smiling. And the thing about, I love their relationship. I really want them to be together, especially with what happened between Carlton and Hillary in the original show. This is completely different. And I really like it. They look like a really cute couple together. Like they could really be happy on the show and in real life, if I had to be honest with you. The only thing is that this is not Jazz's fault. They kissed each other. And also, it's not cringy. When I am watching these two, Hillary and Jazz, I'm like, yes, this is what's up. But for some reason, when I'm watching Will and Lisa, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cringy. Get off the screen. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to come across as like a hater when it comes to Will and Lisa. That's cringy to me, but the relationship between Hillary and Jazz is not. The relationship between Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv is not, and I think that's the only other, those are the only relationships right there. But yes, but they kissed and, I like that. And, they like each other, man. Hopefully they end up being together. But I was smiling. I was over here like, yeah, that's what's up. So I'm very, very happy where that's going. And we're going to see how things play out. Now, we also have Lisa, not Lisa, that's who I was just talking about. We also have Jackie, who is popping up as well, and she is an attractive woman too. And it's just funny that just the way that people pop up. She just shows up at the house like, hey, Aunt Viv, can you please write a letter of recommendation for me to get into Juilliard? I mean, yeah, that's a big deal. You ask it for a letter of recommendation. Maybe you want to do it in person, but you can't do a phone call. You can't send an email. Or was you like, hey, let me go over there in person and hopefully I run into Will. And that's exactly what she did. And Will just like, man, what the hell? I am trying to stay good right now. I already got all these problems. My dad is popping up out of nowhere. Lisa is really stressing me out, or I'm stressing myself out with Lisa and whatever label of our relationship we're going to put on. I quit basketball. I'm trying to impress Q and do this entrepreneurial thing and get this business popping off. And now we have Jackie popping up with her fine self out of nowhere. These are the things that Will is probably saying in his head, and I'm kind of laughing about it. But he is doing the best that he absolutely can, and I gotta applaud him. He is juggling a lot right now. But I was just like, Jackie, what are you doing here? But she was like, don't be a stranger towards the end of their conversation. And it was funny because she was like, well, I gotta go. And Will was like, yeah, thanks for stopping by, but she didn't come by for you. Well, she did, but she's not gonna admit that. She came by for the letter of recommendation. And it's just also at the end of the episode as well, like, hey, we have a new yoga instructor. I think you already know it. She's like, yep. Your Aunt Viv gave me a nice word of recommendation or whatever. I forgot exactly what she said, but y'all know what I'm talking about. She had a yellow jumpsuit on. I'm just like, my goodness gracious, this is just silly. But it is entertaining. It really, really is entertaining. Now, what do y'all think about this other subplot where it has to deal with Jeffrey and his son? He's sneaking, having conversation on the phone like, hey, I can't talk around Jeffrey. You know that. Okay, I will hit you back. Jeffrey is not suspecting of anything. And Will is the one that overhears this. We also found out that a lot of the things that Jeffrey was being accused of are true. He opens up and lets him know about his life in back decades ago, that he used to run with the gang. He wanted to get out the gang when he had his son, when he had, Frederick, and that they didn't want that. And dude tried to take his life. And he was beloved too, had family and friends, and they are looking for me, and they found you and know who you are. I wonder what is going on. I'm glad that Jeffrey was able to tell the truth, because Frederick was already suspicious of a number of things that was going on because he was on the phone. So I'm glad that he was able to be honest and come out with at least some truths before he was confronted by his son. So that's good right there. I'm not surprised that if his son doesn't trust Jeffrey. I mean, he doesn't know the man. That makes perfect sense to me, but hopefully they can talk some things, work it out, and just have a nice, thriving, loving relationship together. Now, what do y'all think about the caterer, the West African gentleman that was trying to provide the goat or chicken meat? Now, early when they first introduced him, I was like, oh, okay, what I'm saying? Good looking brother. Is this going to be another type of love triangle that they try to throw in? They've got Erica that we're going to be talking about in a second. But later on at the function, he seemed really feminine. At first he was masculine, then he just seemed super duper feminine towards the end. And I was just like, oh, what's going on? And I saw the loop earring and I was just like, wait a minute, this is kind of weird. I don't know. What do you think about that? But y'all, we got to talk about Carlton and Amira. I was calling her Amira last episode, but Amira. Man. I don't, she's dangerous. Carlton, he needs to stay away. Now, Carlton should have stayed away too. Okay, if she's not calling you back, she's not responding to your texts, your snaps, however you're trying to reach out to her, call her once, maybe twice at the most. And, if you don't hear back from them, hey, it sucks. You got to move on. But purposely coming to the same class, knowing that she was going to be there, is not the best move. And I can understand how humiliated and embarrassed he was. That she was like, stalk me. I was like, oh, Lord. And everybody's looking, and, he knows everybody heard. Everybody's looking over there. The guy came over and was like, you don't got to sit on the front row no more. I was just like, man. And Carter, he was doing a good job, like acting, looking back and forth like, oh, crap. But then again, towards the end of the episode, I like that Carlton is really being honest and putting things out there. You know, this is the appropriate size to do that at, not the whole, what he did in season 2 or whatever. But she was outside and heard the whole thing, and now she's like, you know, I need you too. And he was like, I need you. That did seem a bit crazy when he said that, like, that it was a bit kind of scary, to be honest with you. But yeah, and the guy over the group saw it too. So this is gonna be kind of weird. We also got Viv talking to Carlton about it as well when he was texting her early in the episode. And I like that, you know, she's kind of opening up to him a little bit here, just like, you know, hey, let's talk, et cetera, et cetera. That's cool. But I don't know, man. She's going to, Amira is going from calling him a stalker to I need you to. I just think that this is not going to end well for Carlton, and it kind of sucks. You know, and I like Carlton. I want it to end well for him, but I think this is going to set him back a few steps instead of push him forward. And last but not least, we got to talk about Erica. What do y'all think of her? She's drunk at the party. She's dodging Aunt Viv at every opportunity. Oh, there's a new guest over here. Let me go say hello. Aunt Viv is not stupid. She thinks something is going on, and it is. You kissed her husband in season 2, and you shouldn't have did that. Now, it's going to come back and bite Phil in the behind because he should communicate and let his wife know, like, hey, this homewrecker over here is barking up the wrong tree. No, I kind of understand why he doesn't want to say anything, but I still feel that he should. What do you guys think? But yeah, she's dodging every which way. Did you tell your wife? He's like, no, let's keep it behind us. But this was a good episode. I did enjoy it for the most part. I think my favorite moments were Carlton and his acting, again, Ashley, but also the number one is Jazz and Hillary kissing and the smooching and the kissing. I want them to be together. LaMarcus, I'm sorry, guy, you cool and all that, but I want Hillary to be with Jazz. I want Jazz to be with Hillary. I'm pretty sure you will be all right, my guy. But guys, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy my recap review, my reaction of Bel-Air season 3, episode 2, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the thumbs up button and share the video as well, and hit that subscribe button. Trying to grow my audience. I'm gonna be covering episode 3. I did episode 1 as well, and also going to be going live all at once for episodes 1 and 3, inviting a guest as well, and we'll be doing that each week too. And so subscribe for all that good stuff. But guys, again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery. That's just my opinion. Peace.